Good morning.
Good morning.
I have my technician over here getting me on. I was having a little bit of trouble.
IT guy.
Oh, how is everyone?
Good. How are you?
Oh,
Good. How are
Well.
you?
Am I the last one to get on, or are all the council members here? Are we waiting for anyone?
Well, I didn't see Kayleen on the meeting yet. What else are we missing? And Tommy Land.
Who is 513-2195?
Is that a 501 number, Elaine?
Yes, it is. So could you please identify yourself? 501-513-2195.
Oh, maybe. This is Deborah. Oh, okay. Are you the call? Okay. Okay, it's Jason Smith.
Okay.
But you can hear everyone okay? Okay, great. Thank you, Jason.
I mean, I can do this. I know how to do this.
Okay. Jason said he can hear everyone, but for some reason he's not able to speak. So
Yeah, he's muted.
okay. Well, Tom Renee, you want to go ahead and start us off?
I do. Good morning, everyone. Were you able to reach Kayleen? No.
She's on.
Okay, great. Thank you all for joining us this morning. This is my first time as chairwoman, and I would like to thank Jason Smith for being such an exemplary example. And he kept us on time. I don't think we had a meeting go over, and I hope I can facilitate that well too. And if I don't, Chris Valines is our new vice chair, will very soon be chair. And thank you, Chris, for serving as vice chair. And thank you, Jason, for doing such a wonderful job for us the past few years. Really appreciate it. I want to thank the staff, especially Elaine and Deborah, who make these meetings go so smoothly and help us with the council decisions. They're invaluable. And thank you to Cynthia Dunlap for her support with the finances and doing such a fine job. And of course, to Secretary Hurst for all that you do. And with that, good morning and welcome. I would like to call the meeting to order. Let's see here. I did, for one point I want to start with is that with these meetings, we always use Robert's Rule of Order. And so I wanted to reiterate that while I'm not a parliamentarian, when we do our discussions, we'll first put a motion on the floor for anything that requires an action. We'll have it seconded, and then we'll move into discussions, and then we'll have the vote. And I am totally happy to have friendly reminders from any council members or staff that, we're out of order and we need to put it back into order. And so I will appreciate that, and I'll do the best I can to keep us on track. Let's see here. And those items today will be the approval of minutes and the approval of financials and the change to the meeting schedule. And with that, I think we should be ready to roll. Elaine, are you taking roll call, or are you just doing it via seeing who's on
I'll do a roll call. Peggy Menendez. Jason Smith. He's on. Bobby Shepherd.
Here.
Chris Lyons.
Here.
Regina Walker. I see her square there. Ta Renee Manning.
Here.
Robbie Beavis.
Here.
Stacy Hurst.
Here.
Kayleen Griffith.
Here.
Jimmy Bryant.
Here.
And Tommy Land. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Elaine. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion, this is Stacy Hurst, that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Robbie B.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any-
Uh,
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. And then let's go ahead and move on to the financials. Cynthia, are you ready to present?
Yes, I am.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Deborah, Elaine, are we sharing our screens or are we putting them on the screen or what?
We haven't before.
Okay, all right. So the first page that I want to go over on the financial report is the current year collections and interest report. Okay, so the balance of the treasury for the last report in April was $33.7 million. Since from May to July, we have collected $10,729,000 plus some interest amounts. And so our total collections from May to July are $10,736,000. In the last meeting, the amount that was awarded for FY22 grants was $29,920,925. So our current balance in Treasury that is not allocated to grants is $14,605,000. The status of the grant distribution on that report for the FY20 grant, which has ended, we had an ending balance remaining in that account of $313,000. And that consisted of amounts that were not utilized by the grantees and some interest of $153,000 that was earned through those those funds being invested. For the FY21 grant, the amount that was approved by the council was $27,387,000. We have dispersed, as of the end of July, $16.4 million of that grant award, leaving $10.9 million still available. And we had interest earnings of $8,905. So the amount in Treasury as of July for the 21 grants was $10,943,000. For the FY22 grant, the amount that was awarded for granting out to $29,920,000, we've dispersed $600,000 of that as of July 31st, leaving a balance of $29.3 million still available to disperse. So the total funds that we have available sitting in Treasury right now for all the grants for the collections and the grant cycles, 2021 and 22, is a total of $55.2 million is what we have currently in our Treasury balance. Are there any questions on that portion before I go to the next one? And the next page that I just wanted you to look at is the graph that shows our annual collections, a comparison. You'll see that for the month of May, June, and July, we're showing a pretty steady significant increase in the collections. For the month of July, our collections were up 26.75% compared to July of 2021. And we ended the year with a 21.3% increase in our collections. And so as of the 3 months, May, June, and July, our collections are up 46.6% from the same time last year. So that's the report of the finances. Are there any questions?
I make a motion to approve the financials.
Do we have a second?
Second, Robbie Beavis.
Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Financials are approved. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Appreciate it.
You.
Okay. And so that then leads us to the proposed change of meeting. And with that, I'm going to let Deborah fill us in on the proposed change.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, Tal Renee. Great start to our meeting. As we discussed at the May meeting, UA Fort Smith would like to host the council on a field trip, but because of some delays, they are not able to do that in the fall as we had hoped, and would like to host in the spring. So we're proposing to switch the October meeting, which is generally a field trip meeting, to the spring. So we'll have a Zoom meeting at the October meeting, and then our field trip be in the spring, in March 8th and 9th. And so wanted to, since that was slightly different than what was proposed at the May meeting, wanted to bring that to the council and see if anyone had an objection to that, or if we could move forward on planning that change.
I'm good with moving forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions regarding that?
Yeah, this is Chris. Deborah, do you mind going over those dates one more time? I thought I'd put it in my calendar.
Sure. So the new dates will be today. The next meeting will be October 27th. And now that will be a conference call, Zoom call. The March meeting will be 8th and 9th. If the council approves to change that to the field trip, that would be the 8th and 9th. But the actual meeting will be on the 9th. And the funding meeting will be May 11th of 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay. If there's no further questions or discussion, then is there a motion to approve the date change for the field trip?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it, Stacy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Very good.
And look forward to that.
Very good. Sorry, I wait a little bit because I'm not sure if people are going to speak up or not. It's hard on the Zoom to judge that. Okay. And now that we have that underway, Deborah, would you like to continue on with a program update? I know you've worked on a nice presentation for us.
Yes, thank you. And with Elaine's help,
Thank you, Elaine.
she is going to help me with actually putting on the PowerPoint, sharing her screen. So Elaine, if you can go ahead and put the first slide up. Great. Thank you. Yes, this is a theme of ANCRC. We're funding projects that impact every citizen in every community in every county in the state of Arkansas, and that has been since 1989. So thank you. Okay, next slide. What I've done is put together just a few slides, but primarily from the fiscal year 20 grants that we have been reviewing the funnel reports that are due at the end of July. Several organizations, because of a variety of reasons, have delays, but been starting reviewing those. So just a few highlights. This is a poster, I've got presented a poster from the Arkansas Archaeological Survey. This was their part of their fiscal year 20 and their 2003 grant, Preserving and Presenting Arkansas History Through Artifacts. And so it was a poster that they created in conjunction with that project. And they are also doing, they've been doing some replicas of some of the artifacts. And so that, to help with, artifacts likely to deteriorate, they can preserve those, preserve a replica of those, and then also be able to share them with other organizations. So that's first one. And then Elaine, next slide. This is the facade of the archive building that was part of the Dias Colony Rural Life Research Center. And, the ASU has had a number of projects with ANCRC through the years, and this is one. I have not seen this actual this project, but it is definitely on my short list to go and visit. I think this is very exciting, and I know they are excited that these programs are moving forward so well. Next slide. This was a very exciting. I know the Arkansas School for the Deaf had invited the council, and it was a very, really a wonderful. Robbie Beavis was able to join, and so this was a slide from the actual grand reopening. They did interpretation, and can you the next slide? You can see that they talked a lot about their appreciation for ANCRC, and one of many really sweet moments they had. Some of the students did an interpretive dance, and with sign language. It was really special. The whole presentation was very special. So, and next slide. I think I've got one also of Robbie with their. Both the architect and Kevin Lentz has been the project manager on this program, but I hope everyone will at some point be able to go by and see Parnell Hall. I don't know if Robbie wants to say a few words, but this project means so much to the school and to the students that are there. The facility that was renovated was in great need of renovation, and the students, this is where basically where they live, and it is an incredibly important facility to the whole program. And I know Robbie and I were both very, very touched by the presentation and just their appreciation to the council. So I wanted to share that with everyone. Now, Robbie, do you have any? You wanted to add?
Yeah, I mean, out of all of there's been a lot more impressive projects, but I think this project has probably touched me more than any that we've been to, just because I never realized that those students kind of live there, and that is their home. And they just kept, well, some of the parents kept reiterating, you fix their home. And I never thought about, we think about it's a school, but to some of these kids, that's where they live. They're there all week. They're away from their family. And for some of them, that's their community for them to function. And they brought out things that since I'm not part of the deaf or blind community, I would have never thought about. Like they put in, automatic sliding doors, because for a deaf person, you conversate with your hands. Well, if you're in a conversation and you have to stop and open doors, that breaks the conversation. But just a simple sliding door makes life easier for them to keep their conversation. Is little things. I've never been a big fan of us spending money on audio and video equipment, but after going to that, it really showed me that maybe not every time, but in that case, that was a vital part of their life. The blind needs the video, and the deaf need the audio. So it opened my eyes to try to be a little more open to some of these projects and try to look at the bigger picture of who are we touching with this grant? What's the difference? And it really opened my eyes to some different things, and kind of made me very appreciative of my kids and things that I have that we just take for granted, that we don't realize how fortunate we are sometimes. So, if y'all get a chance, go by. I wish more of us could have been there, but I understand. But it was a very, very touching and eye-opening experience for me.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank
I
you.
appreciated you being there, and I know the community and the board and everyone that was there. So thank you so much. Elaine, next slide. Okay, another one of the projects that was completed that was funded by the council in fiscal year 20 was the Secretary of State, the State Capitol roofing replacement. And so you can see just this one of several photos, but a very clear indication of how much the roof replacement, obviously we see that in many projects. If you don't have a great roof, the whole structure can be compromised. So that was a wonderful project, and they were very grateful. Next slide. Another project that was completed at the Capitol was through the Auditor of State, the interior rehabilitation of the Auditor of State suite. And wanted to share real quickly, the Auditor of State actually emailed Secretary Hurst and myself yesterday and wanted me to share this message. Please give them my thanks and share my thoughts on this important project. Although COVID-19 protocols prevented us from having many visitors since the remodel, those have been complete, and our visitors that have been able to visit have praised the work of the architect Clements and Associates and the builder Baldwin and Shell as work benefiting our Arkansas State Capitol. Some of the changes included original moldings still existing in some of the offices were used as models to create similar effects in the offices with newly constructed walls and ceilings that had been built last century to make a long, dimly lit. Lane, can you show the next slide? I think that's, I'm sorry. Were removed to create a main office space and restored 16-foot ceiling. The plywood paneling was removed from walls and replaced with sheetrock. Uneven and disparate floorings were replaced with white oak flooring, very similar to the original construction, and tile floors matching originals were laid in the bathrooms, one of which is now ADA compliant. And she concluded, the auditor's office and every Arkansan is indebted to your thoughtful foresight in preserving and restoring these treasures. And she personally invited the members to visit the offices and experience that. So I thought that was a very nice note from the auditor, personal note that she sent yesterday. Next slide. One more. This is one example of one of the renovated spaces, and you can see the top and to the left was the original, and the new renovation is to the right. So, okay, great. Thank you. Next slide. Another very amazing project was at the Governor's Mansion. They've sent this is an overview, but next slide. Just there were a number of projects that were completed, but this I thought was for visually just something to show you was one of the most obvious improvements. You can see that the previous roof repairs were made. And of course, this is over the Grand Hall. They installed LED lanterns, a new boiler, AV controls upgrade, garden and security lighting, chat path repairs, new lighting in the Grand Hall. So they were very appreciative and very exciting project. So next slide. The administration building facelift at SAU Tech. This is a remarkable transformation from what it was previously. And again, they would love for the council to come and visit them there in Camden. Next slide. And just thank you. Thank you for these, just a sample of some of the projects that we've completed this year, but so appreciate all of you and the great work you do. And just wanted to give you like a few examples of the projects that with your help, we are able to see throughout the state. So, and does anyone have any questions?
No
Thanks.
questions, Deborah, but I just want to commend you for pulling that together. And I love seeing all the work. Robbie, thank you for going to that dedication. And I know that impacted you because you called me and we're very moved by all of that. And I just am so proud of our work. And thank you all for serving in this important capacity.
Thank you, Secretary Hurst. I really appreciate all you do.
Well done on the presentation, Deborah and Elaine. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions or more comments about that? Okay. Do we have any public comment? I don't think we have anybody from the public on the call. Okay. None is noted. I guess that takes us to agenda item number 8, which is our next meeting will be October 27th at 10 a.m. Deborah, do you have anything more to say about that meeting?
No, if anyone has any suggestions or comments on anything you would like to see, if there's any particular project that you would like more information about, we can do a similar presentation at that time. I thought probably what I'll do, this was focusing on some of the results of the 20 fiscal year, but there were several fiscal year 21 projects that were also completed. So I may highlight a couple of those in the next meeting. But I'm open to suggestions. If there's other things council members would like to know more about, I would be happy to pull that together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, great meeting. I look forward to seeing everybody in October. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Okay. I'm going to presume that there's no discussion. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so adjourned.
Have a great
Thank
day,
you, Madam
everybody.
Chair.
Bye-bye.
Good to see everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Bye.
Great job, Tara Day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.